satellite with high-grade data. But oh, it seems that Jesus ain't smiling at me. My scanner bloods, the lines go thick. Am I living in a dream? No outcrops, no mesocyteri. I think I found those three metallic meteors. 1, 2, 3. Let me pop those meteors. Let's just see. As the hours go by, I hold my stomach as over the ditches we fly. I need to find just 3 materials, then I'll sleep, I'm promising myself. But oh, it seems the RNGs ain't smiling at me. My scanner bloods, the lines go thick. Am I living in a dream? No outcrops, no mesocyteri. I think I found those 3 metallic meteors. 1, 2, 3. Let me pop those meteors. Let's just see.
Take a sip of some Saxon wine. The indie bubble's gonna blow your mind. Eurasian gooseberry can make you feel so queer, my dear. Whoa. A little swig of some bat snake gin, and this journey is ready to begin. A good occasion for some Chateau d'Asian and some Christmas cheer. Whoa. I know the journey may be long, but what we got tastes so strong. All I smell is liquor corroding my mind. Red blue trading, pretty heavy laden. Don't try to stop me, I'll run you down. Red blue trading, pretty heavy laden. Don't touch that bottle, boy, cause that one's mine. Red blue trading, pretty heavy laden. Don't try to stop me, I'll run you down. Red blue trading, pretty heavy laden. Don't touch that bottle, boy, cause that one's mine. That one's mine. We head to Hutton for the longest leg. I'll have a snifter for the journey ahead. This leads to evil juice and so bad with some fruited cream. Whoa. A finger full of local froth. 1 harm of silver sea rum is good enough. Count out the time until we taste that century mega gin. Whoa. Red blue trading, pretty heavy laden. Don't try to stop me, I'll run you down. Red blue trading, pretty heavy laden. Don't touch that bottle, boy, cause that one's mine. Red blue trading, pretty heavy laden. Don't try to stop me, I'll run you down. Red blue trading, pretty heavy laden. Don't touch that bottle, boy, cause that one's mine.
a light in the night, and it won't go out. Now I found you. There's a heat so close that I never feel cold. Now I found you. I was alone, out in the dark. Then I saw hollow squares all around. Oh, now the calms call my name every night. Now I found you in the depths, gazing brightly at the neutron star. We share the field, scooping jet cones, leaping to the edges of the night. Oh, I was alone, out in the dark. Then I saw hollow squares all around. Oh, I was alone, out in the dark. Heaven was all around. Oh, let's jump together. Let's jump together. Let's jump together. Let's jump together. Together. Oh, see the drives blink. Oh, everyone's so on a new path, on a brave line. Feel the engines roar. Let's engage it all. Feel the new ride as we all intertwine. Let's jump together. 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 Let's jump. Let's jump together. Let's jump together. Let's jump together. Let's jump together.
Lost young hearts, living rough, so vulnerable, gathered by a hangman's rope. With apocalyptic words they charm their souls, locked into the hype charts, there's no hope. They first just wish to see the bubble burn, to meet the makers of their fate. The front row seat to watch humanity's fall. Any chance to leave was much too late. So the Fargo will arrive, bring glory to us all. Please take our soul tonight. Purified in spirits, lightened by daily drugs injected oh so deep. The order talks of meeting God, yes God, an appointment one must really keep. Fasting then removed all resistance. would prefer to as the Thargoids, but an omniscient and most holy being, to meet their maker. And on that day they believed that all of humanity would be destroyed, but those that would heed the truth would ascend into the air light and be transformed. Said that I'd be home soon, but I gotta do one more thing. Henry said that it's important, so important, that we all gotta make some sacrifices. You know that I've fought bugs before, but never more than one at a time. And now I'm staring at a hive like silent running my way inside. They told me I was here to kill their drives, just the drives. And now I'm seeing many millions of those bugs die. And I don't want this on my hands. John Jameson, John Jameson, John Jameson, John Jameson. He told me that the payload was a virus aimed at killing their tech. Now the blood is on my hands. Do you think they're really done yet? They knew that it was lethal, exactly how much power they tricked me into carrying out this lie. Sliding past perimeters, cold as an ice pick, to the fire that gives them life. They told me I was here to kill their drives, just the drives. Now I'm seeing many millions of those bugs die, and I don't want this on my hands. John Jameson, John Jameson, John Jameson, John Jameson. Don't
bought a ship when I just joined the Pilots Federation. Cost me 52 grand. I felt so proud when I special elected to the shipyard and they put the keys in my hand. Do you have keys? I know. And they only have a small hard point, but that doesn't matter to me. 'Cause she's mine and she blows my mind. She's my beautiful space taxi. I'm a hauler, space baller, talking Peterson, I bow to you. It's a mini-foot Lance with nothing in his pants, but goddammit, I love you. My space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah. I tricked it out so it jumped just like a lady. It maxed out at 30.09. One fully laden, its ass was a beautiful thing. No shit, kid, to mess with its lines. Jumped into open for a community goal. Thought I'd raise a buck or two. Some guy called Potter stripped my shield to water rider. I'm at 1% as I recharge my friendship. Oh, I'm a hauler, yeah, such a baller. Talking pizzas and I'm out of you. It's a mini-foot Lance with nothing in his pants, but goddammit, I love you. Yeah, I'm a hauler, such a baller, talking penis and I bow to you. It's a mini-foot Lance with nothing in his pants, but goddammit, I love you. My space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah. I sat there, just going back and forth in this old boat, just like a ship in a bottle. You came round, hopped on the bridge and took command, and so we sailed into the night. I couldn't set a course on my own, which way was North Star or even Sagittarius Day. I couldn't get at all on my own, didn't know which way was North Star or even Sagittarius Day. We set sail, not on a rough sea, but just floating free from the bottom. And you said, let's just see where the jump takes us all together. Let's jump together. And the systems fell, we scanned them all. We put our names against those first discoveries, wonderful memories. The sectors passed, we own them all. Some phenomenon were notable. We took some shots to show our friends some things they won't believe. All the things that I have said, all the places I have been. Oh, I have crossed the void they won't believe. Yeah, I've looked into the eye. Yeah, I've brought a lot since you. Oh, hopped just going back and forth in this old boat. Just like a ship in a bottle, you came round, hopped on the bridge and took command, and so we sailed into the night.
System scan complete.
I'm gonna boil you up. I see your greenhorn. Feel me. I think the rumors are true. Lucky I found you first. I have you now. There's no escape. Let's get to it. Meal ticket. That was promised rich pickings. How do you fools make a living? You choose death then. Now you die in a victim.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
and the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous,
and the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from the Orange Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads.
A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Commanders, and welcome to episode 546 of Lave Radio, the show that likes to talk about the universe of Elite Dangerous and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix of Fire, otherwise known as Colin Ford, Chief Archivist of Lave Station, and joining me in the Orange Sidewinder bar for this episode, we have our SRV Banksy, that'd be Commander Alec Turner.
Hello, evening all.
Our Staff Liaison Officer, Commander Psychic, otherwise known as Claire.
Right.
We also have our Head of Health and Safety, Commander Edelweiss, otherwise known as Bedmoss Woodward.
Yeah, I think the elevators are actually broken in Elite.
And also hiding in the background, we have our Chief Steerer out of the window. That'd be the Chris Mark IV.
Hello.
Hello. Yes. So, if you wish, you can join us live. As aforementioned, Chris is staring out the window at the Lave Station bar. So feel free to join him if you can. We do know that Ben's just been kicked out, but we'll deal with that as and when it comes.
This could be a benefit, to be frank.
If you can't join us in game, you can always join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live, or go straight to twitch.tv/Lave Radio, or look up Lave Radio on YouTube because we're there as well. So we're going to have a quick run around the crew, see what they've been up to. Three of us will probably be discussing something later on, but let's start with Alec. How have you been for the last week?
Get the boring, uninteresting news out of the way first. Yeah, I like it. Friday, I went to the dentist, which was nobody likes the dentist, right? Nobody likes the dentist. It was fine. I had to have 3 fillings, and I was slightly amused by, like, I don't know what they do. They spray cold air or something, I guess, to test your sensitivity. And he was like, "You seem fine. I reckon we can do this without an injection." Yes, okay, let's do it. Then immediately started drilling, but it was fine. And then Saturday, I went with my son to McDonald's, among other things, and was doing some dad taxi stuff. And then Sunday, I went to see my stepmom, and the drive over there, I've always seen this like intriguing sign way off in a field that I can't quite read, but it looks colourful. And in my wildest imagination, I always thought it was some lovely microbrewery or something, but suspected it was something far less interesting. Anyway, I went to look, and it turns out it was a really interesting and cool microbrewery. And I'm currently drinking a can of what's it called? Of Course I Still Love You, which is a very nice mild ale. But it's cool. It's an old like cowshed that they've turned into a microbrewery. So you go and they've got loads of sort of seats out in the field and things. So yeah, I'll be going there every time I go and see my mum now. It's great. In game, oh yes, so having stupidly made a time trial for the Dracula rally, as if everyone wasn't already sick of it, I became obsessed with trying to do it in under half an hour. My current best is 31 minutes, which I'm super pleased with, obviously, because that's a hell of a run. But it also means I know it can be done in under half an hour, so I can't let it go. And then, as I have been doing the last few weeks, I've got this colonization thread where I go and look at interesting places that people have colonized. And this time, it's becoming quite long range. Like when colonization started, it was 3 jumps here, 4 jumps there, just to go and look at the places that people were submitting. But this morning's little jaunt was 23 jumps off to the Vale West Nebula, which I'm not sure I've been to. It's super pretty. It's like a light blue, light pink. It's very pretty, and now there's like space stations there and colonization platforms and ground settlements, so it's even more pretty. So yeah, it's a bit of a trek, but highly recommend. Yeah, Dracula, colonization, dentist. Yeah, that'll do. What have you lot been up to? Something much more fun, I expect.
Okay, what about Ben then? Apart from doing daddy duties.
Well, I have been doing daddy duties and grandson duties, going up to the Murray Coast, up in the fairly far north of Scotland. But while we were there, we went swimming in the sea and things like that, and that was lovely. Also went to a very nice steak restaurant and went to see Naked Gun, which was interesting, and I enjoyed it.
How well has that style of comedy aged? It feels to me a bit like doing a Carry On movie reboot.
I think it's aged better than Austin Powers did, I think.
Okay, fair enough.
Two beers before you go, Alec. 2 beers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, my sister and I were creasing ourselves during it. I feel mildly bad for saying this, but I was actually impressed by Pamela Anderson.
Well, aren't we all? So strike that from the record, sorry.
Not in that way.
I am. I will quite happily take that.
I mean, she does have some very impressive attributes, and I'm amazed they're not around her knees. But then again, CGI is a wonderful thing as well, so not that I know that. But the...
Amazing what they can do with green screen these days. Sorry, carry on.
Her vocal talents, I was genuinely impressed with her vocal stuff as well. I don't really want to say much more to avoid spoilers, but there are scenes that I thought, yeah, there's no way in hell that she did that, and then I got to the it appears in the credits, and it the credits at least say it really honestly to God was her. And that,
wow. Are we talking singing? I assume we're talking singing.
We are talking singing, and she is credited with the singing. And I was impressed that it was her.
Cool.
So I enjoyed that. Game-wise, I've been doing some more of the CG just to make sure I stay in the top 50%. I've been doing essentially the same kind of thing into the universe, but but that's to win custom weapons and custom paint jobs. So actually, that's very, very similar, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's that's for a whole storyline, basically explaining why eventually that game's you're not gonna just be able to ram yourself into a space station all the time and keep coming back to life. So there is you do it a few times too many, and death is meant to have consequences, but not unbearable consequences. So this is sort of setting. This is basically the pre-story for setting that kind of stuff up. What else have I been doing? I think that's probably about everything without getting into all details of my trip up north. It was fun.
Excellent. Okay, Sakyat.
Hi. What have I been up to? I have been, since last Tuesday, doing nothing but playing video games and prepping for ECM, being at ECM, having one strawberry daiquiri, turning my head and realizing I can't have any more strawberry daiquiris, being like setting up ECM, being at ECM, doing ECM, driving home from ECM, and playing Elite Dangerous. It's been a fun week.
Cool.
It's been a really fun week. We'll talk more about ECM later. Have I done anything else? No, I did a lot of prep. I've done a lot of I've done as much playing of Elite post update as I have been humanly able to squeeze in while also being able to eat before Lave. And what else have I been up to? I slept a lot on Sunday when I got home, and we've been putting up with what can only be described as chemical warfare from our dog, who is disappointed that he'd be put in the borders 2 weekends in a row. Like he's living up to the name Arty Farty Pants like no one's business, and occasionally there'll be a stealth guff that comes from somewhere. I don't think it's my husband. I'm relatively sure it's Arty, but yeah, that's been my week. Has been mostly working on travel, existing on not very much sleep over a weekend, but also having a really, really, really bloody good time.
Oh no! I mean, those hot dogs on, yeah, they lingered.
I mean, not that badly. Especially, I just smelt them in the car before Artie got in the car. I really think I would have done.
Fair enough. Chris Mark IV.
What have I been up to? In the real world, a bit of excitement as I have changed jobs, so I'm getting used to somewhere a bit new and everything like that. And then it was time to prep for ECM, which involved pulling my flat to pieces, trying to find odds and ends and cables and bits and pieces that I was going to be taking down, and sort of doing bits of prep and stuff. Not really done any Edinburgh festivaling or anything like that, even though it was on, which felt like a bit of a waste, but I was running about doing so many other things. And then, yeah, down in ECM, buying people frozen strawberry daiquiris.
It was you. You were the catalyst.
It was a terrible idea. And then, and enjoying lots of bits and pieces at ECM, and then driving very tired back up the road to Scotland. So yeah, it was a very good weekend. In my space life, I have been doing some more of the CG, trying to make sure that I'm still in the top 75%. I also found out that there was combat element, as we discussed last week, so I made sure to don my cape and show 2 Diamondback explorers who's boss. And then I was done. So, and that has been my my week in space.
Lovely. Well, like everybody else who headed down south, or east, depending on which direction you came from, I spent most of my week going up to ECM painting models, and yes, I think I did a good job at them at the end, and apart from that, it was effectively playing Elite. And trying to keep in that top 75%, and also trying to get into the top 75% for the combat as well. I've got a bit of a way to go for that, but yeah. But the other bit of good news, as far as Elite is concerned, my X56 had broke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazon have kindly now replaced it. And it is, I have a box of X56ness right next to the desk. I've still to unpack it. it's one of these things you might even be tempted to do an unboxing video when you get a big joystick out like that. So, yeah, might be something.
But how big is it though, Colin? I'm so sorry.
I don't know. It breaks the spokes, doesn't it?
I'm just glad he's not managed to break his shaft. Oh, for fuck's sake! Sorry, language. I've now got a Movar adder.
Beetlejuice has got a lot to answer for.
He bloody well has. I mean, I'll take it as a compliment, but jeez. Right. Again, ECM will bring you up to date later. However, there has been development news because Squadrons or the Vanguard release came out today. I've just finished downloading or upgrading all my versions, so I am yet to try it out. But we'll be picking Psychic's brains later. However, there were some fixes, and these fixes seem to be mostly to do with shadows. So what do you guys think? Have they sorted the shadows?
I mean, we prayed for this last week, didn't we? We said if the patch notes say fix shadows, then the rest Squadrons can get in the bin frame.
Yeah, 100%.
Was more or less what I said.
I think that's what has happened apparently.
So it's looking really good.
Yeah.
Rini, who's been a big campaigner for this, is sort of reporting that she's practically in tears over how good the shadows are. So that's great. I had about 20 minutes before the show to do some testing. I must admit, what I immediately did was I went off and looked for the real edge case, which is one of the things I used to love to do in Horizons. Was particularly if you had a fairly fast rotating moon. Was land right at the terminator of the shadow line, get out in the SRV, and you could follow the shadow. It would just creep across the ground, and you could follow it. I just used to find it mesmerizing. Now, up until now, what's happened with Odyssey, if you try and do anything like that, is the shadows just flicker and strobe and turn on and off, and it's just a horrible, ugly mess. So what I saw this evening was that they are super stable. I didn't see any flickering or jumping or shimmering or shadows turning on or off. What I did see, to be honest, minor niggle, is that the shadows, unlike Horizons, move in quite visible steps. So they're perfectly motionless, and then they'll jump, and then they'll be perfectly motionless, and they'll jump. So like a setting sun, it'll just move across the ground in steps. So I would say shadows. I would say prior to today, I would give Odyssey Shadows 3 out of 10, and I will now give them 7 out of 10. Horizons 10 out of 10.
Right. So are we still talking about epileptic fit type?
No, God,
no. That's all gone.
None of that. That is completely gone. Even like in the Panther Clipper, completely gone. That like this is what Alec is describing is. Would you say it was fair to call it? It's an edge case of
yes,
sort of
it's an
like
edge case. I'm talking about the movement of the shadow of a setting sun, instead of creeping beautifully smoothly across the ground like Horizons used to do moves in steps. But apart from that, all that nasty flickering and shimmering and jumping of shadows on and off is, as far as I can tell, gone.
Yeah, I've done I did a very minimal amount of testing right towards the end after I'd played about with all of the other stuff, and I went and landed at a station and at Odyssey Settlement, had a walk around. Not a single flicker occurred in the slightest, and then I went back and got into a stock Panther Clipper and flew it accidentally to a planet that was 1.3G. And let's not talk about how badly I landed with this, but there was nothing on the dash. There was no extra bits. They've shifted the lights down in the Panther Clipper so it doesn't go above the little like holo displays where it says your distance from somewhere and stuff like that. So the lights have moved down in the Panther Clipper. It's a little tiny thing, but the fact that this has all been addressed, like, we're still within a month of the Panther Clipper having been out, and the fact that they've addressed all of this with this update, I think. Cheers, Frontier. Do appreciate that, but it's very stable, and it made me incredibly happy because of what I've been singing and dancing about for all of this for such a long time, and it made me happy. It made me emotional. There was a lot of things that made me emotional with this update, but that was way up there.
Yeah,
For what it's worth,
there's
I
a
am
couple
also
of other He says, all we see is a black screen saying loading game and it's not working. We're having reports from a few people in the chat room saying, there are connection problems at the moment.
Classic launch day instability is 50,000 people will try and buy a squadron carrier.
Oh yeah, well done. Yeah, the servers are bad. The servers have been bad. There was a small moment of stability, and then it's gone to shit again, and that's fine.
Yeah, it'll sort itself out. My highlight, apart from what we'll talk about later, is that they have fixed something, an issue with the Corsair thrusting. Thrust vectoring, or rather the vector thrusters with the Corsair, and yes, that was a bit of a bugbear of mine because you couldn't roll and vector at the same time, which really was a bit weird. Pitch rather and vector thrust at the same time, because the only way that you could get around and outmaneuver ships in that is by vector thrusting. And without that ability, then you're basically just wallowing in an easy target. So I'm glad that that's been fixed. So yes, quite a lot of fixes with the Panther Clipper, I see. And yes, adjusted the colonization facility rename to clarify it includes unlimited random renames of the facility as well. So.
Still no colons allowed in colonization names, apparently.
No colons, no apostrophes.
Apostrophes, either. Yeah, that's what I meant. Actually, I meant apostrophes. I don't know why I said colons.
I doubt you can have a colon.
No, I don't know why I said that.
What about a semicolon?
Again, I would imagine that that's not the case as well. But there's still nothing like that. That said, like as far as the bug fixes are concerned, the fact that they fixed everything with the they fixed all of the problems that people had with the Panther Clipper. Was really has been really cool. The fucking Shadows. It is the Shadows update as far as I'm concerned.
I'm renaming it.
Yeah.
Do you remember the what was that update called? The Shadows update. Yeah, that was
the Shadows update. It wasn't called Vanguards. It was called the
Something
Shadows
else
update.
Come with that. I can't remember.
Well, I tell you what else came with it.
Go on.
Being able to see, like, as Fanarp said in chat, and you need to mention this, your own carrier doesn't get like when you filter out every other carrier, your carrier and your squadron carrier remain in the navigation.
Oh, that's
listen to those noises. Yes, that absolutely does happen. I'm not making it up.
Oh, that's excellent.
That exciting?
Oh, that's one thing that I've been ever since I got the carrier. The one thing that has been absolutely winding me up is the fact that I've got to switch the carriers off in order to fly without it. And yes. That's fantastic.
Isn't it great? The Shadows update has brought everything we could possibly want.
Well, let's just say that the Shadows update is certainly a big one. That is definitely what you call a quality of life, eh, Alec?
Yeah, they really,
like, literally.
Honestly, they downplay these things. Like, they didn't even mention the fix to the night vision, and then they kind of just quietly sneak this in as item. What is it? 3F or something? I don't know where it is in this list. 1J, improvements to Shadows across various locations in game. It's like quietly understated. It's like, guys, you do realise this is the most exciting thing in the patch notes.
Well, apart from what we'll talk about later. Anyway, so overall, some quite nice fixes have come out there. But the main headline feature we'll discuss in a bit. So at the moment, I will hand over to Alec, and he can talk about the community.
And now, to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate?
Okay, so this is becoming a regular feature, but I think it is worth just saying a quick update on Commander Sulu. I know some of you missed him at ECM; he was due to go, but obviously he's been in trouble. But I had an update from his wife today. In fact, to say that he has now been moved out of critical care, which is huge. They've moved him to a neuroscience ward, basically for rehab. So the consultants are saying he should basically be able to get back to his old self with slight limitations, which is fucking miraculous, frankly. He can't stand yet or use his hands, but they've started physio today. It's going to be a long, slow recovery, but yeah, amazing. I'm going to go and see him in a couple of weeks. Probably not this weekend, but the weekend after. I'm going to go and see him. So yeah, great news. Right, onwards. Commander Homburger, who always does a fabulous blog about buckyball races, has finished his Drakir Rally blog. It's called Ludicrous, the Drakir Rally, and it's a fantastic write-up of the whole. Starts off describing the Dakar Rally and the original Paris Dakar, and a little bit of history of that, and then my sort of conception of the Drakir Rally, and then his attempts to practice and our formation of a team, and he covers the day itself. It's a fantastic write-up. I love Homburger's blogs so much. So yeah, really good read. Some nice photography in it as well. Next up, I don't shout these out often enough. Poor old Commander Exorcist makes these wonderful out there videos every week. Does he do one? Maybe even 2 a week. I don't know. And they become so commonplace, a bit like, for example, the Bears and the great stuff they do, that I stopped shouting it out. But I caught this one. It's called Valley of Ice and Sand, and it's just beautiful. So yeah, really well worth a watch. Lovely exploration montage by Exorcist. And speaking of exploration montages, another really nice one by Coenaman02, who we shared out a few times. It's just called Exploration Odyssey, Exploration Montage, Episode 19. Another one well worth subscribing to. Just beautiful, beautiful imagery and music, and yeah, really nice. Next one was a new somebody I've not come across on YouTube before, I don't think, called Erad Star Prime. Videos called Doing This Made Elite Dangerous So Much Better. And basically what he says is, playing Elite Dangerous with a friend has changed everything. A simple session in Elite Dangerous completely transformed my experience. Coordinated space combat, thrilling dogfights, tactical FPS. Suddenly the game feels alive like never before. We say this all the time, that playing with mates is superb, and so Erad Prime has just kind of discovered this. They've been on and off Elite Dangerous for a long time. It's never been their number one game. They sort of dip into it, but it never quite grabbed them. But sort of random coincidence basically meant they ended up playing with a mate, and they went to I think they went to a Hazres or something, and yeah, something clicked, and he's just fallen in love with Elite all over again, which is lovely. So yeah, it's a really nice video just showcasing that. Yeah, so as I mentioned with Exorcist, we don't shout out the Bears enough, but every week they put out Witch Space News, which is brilliant, and they do some midweek specials, which are brilliant, and Renia's photography is superb, and Bears got a very good way with words. Anyway, they put out
especially with deceased letters. Is that right?
Yes,
Cease and desist letters.
Yes,
Yes.
letters are especially well phrased. If you ever happen to run across one. Yeah, so they put out a video. They do these events in their Discord. So they They've done it with all the new ships now. They have a mass meetup, and they get literally dozens of people all in the same ship, obviously with loads of different cosmetics, flying around some beautiful landscape. And they've just done one for the Corsair, so it's, I don't know, I lost count. It seemed like several dozen Corsairs in all shades of the rainbow, flying along a beautiful canyon. It's spectacular stuff. So yeah, Corsair mass meetup on the Burr Pit YouTube. Right. Oh, the next one's interesting. Yeah, I had a DM from Walt Kerman. I think we've been sort of in contact with Walt many years ago. He's he works with the Dukes of Micken, who I think we kind of encountered them because Lave Radio actually have a signed coalition with them apparently after the whole Lave fight for independence from Alliance. Was that back in 3303? That seems ludicrous. I was trying to
It
pin a
was
date on that.
years ago, but yeah.
Oh, it's so long ago. Anyway, yeah. So Walt sort of contacted me on behalf of the Dukes of Micken, partly just to point out a fairly staggering statistic, which is that their little minor faction has actually become larger than any power in the game. And apparently, that in terms of numbers, I guess they're 70% of the size of the Alliance.
God.
Which kind of raises the interesting question of whether, if the Dukes of Micken actually became bigger than the Alliance themselves, would Frontier actually give them some kind of recognition? It certainly seems to deserve it. I had no idea. That's just stunning. I should look into the history of
I
Dukes of
kind
Micken
they
more.
would, but I wish that. Yeah, I kind of feel they should.
Yeah. So does he. Anyway, one of the sort of tangents that he pointed out, which I've been fascinated in this for a while, is that they are essentially spearheading the colonization drive towards Sagittarius A, and it's really impressive where they've got. Are we showing this on stream? I've got a map. It won't translate very well on sort of low resolution, but we'll link it in the show notes. I've got it on Imager, but basically, yeah, the northern strand of colonization out from the bubble is very nearly reached one of the Colonia Bridge megaships now. I'm just counting. I've got rings on this. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. They're like 3,500 light years from the bubble now. So apparently their current pace is about 6 months to cover 4,000 light years. So they're currently predicting reaching Sag in between 2 and 3 years, which is
Jesus.
It's a long time, but it's not impossible. It's
No.
incredible. I guess supplies must be a huge issue. I mean, Walt did contact me partly in the hope that maybe I had contacts with Frontier, which I confess I sort of don't very much now. When Arthur left, Arthur was one of the main people that I could reach out to occasionally. But I think what some of these groups, and they're not the only ones, would love is for the supply ships to be less bubble centric and more. I can't begin to imagine how you ferry steel along to sort of nearly 4,000 light years from Sol. It must be a pain in the ass.
You'd have to build up various systems to
systems on the route,
so that-
Yeah, and constant supplies of I guess obviously mega ships and things. But what I did on the back of this, because I was fascinated, so we've got a link in the show notes which goes to edastro.com. And basically, if you follow this link, it's just to a sort of particular coordinate. But if you go to edastro.com/galmap, in the top right-hand corner, you can select galaxy, and then there's a bunch of checkboxes for different things you can show. And if you pick inhabited systems, you basically get this lovely purple splash of everything we've colonized. And essentially, there's this strand going north, which is sort of spearheaded by the Mercs of Micken, and there's actually a kind of initiative on the forum called the Lagoon Nebula Colonization Mega Project. So that's their kind of first target, although it will continue on towards Sag. Going northwest, and it's currently reached the Vale Nebula West, which is where I was this morning, taking screenshots and stuff, is the Swords of Mackay and the Nobles of Dagger have formed a kind of alliance, so they're pushing out that way. Going southwest, and they've just reached the Little Dumbbell Nebula, is a sort of drive, I think, spearheaded by the Equestrian Naval Fleet. Slightly south of that, like due southwest, they've gone through the California Nebula now. It's the Fatherhood. Heading kind of southeast, there's cannon that have gone down to the Horsehead. And there's obviously the DW3 Orion Colony Initiative that people have reached the Spirograph Nebula. People have gone east to the Veil of Dark region and Guardian space. And people have Stargoid apparently has been on stream, has been doing a big drive northeast through the Coalsack Dark region and beyond. So yeah, it's fascinating. It's really spreading out. It's really cool to see these sort of big strands of colonization pushing outwards. So yeah, we'll include the link to the Ed Astro.com, and we'll stick my image that I've sort of slapped together to try and give an overview on in the show notes. Right, next is ECM. I wasn't there, so I'm handing over to Claire for this one.
Okay, hi. Yeah, ECM was fun. Can I just mention one thing beforehand, which I totally got? Someone told me about in on stream. I'm giving you lots of access, early info about this. Australian Commanders. There is an Australian Commanders in October. So plenty of notice. 8th of October 2025 from 5 p.m. There is the Pilots Nexus Gathering, which is happening in Melbourne. I will put a link to a poster for it in the show notes. I totally forgot to add it to stuff, but you know, I was doing a lot of stuff today. My apologies. But 8th of October, we'll talk about it a little bit more, a tiny bit closer to the time, but I wanted to mention that now. ECM, speaking of meetups, ECM happened. Yeah, it was good fun.
It was.
It was really good fun. Oh my gosh.
Where do you start, really? This is the problem with it.
Where I forget, ECM doesn't really have talks, does it? Or did it have some talks?
Well, we had some talks. We had some talks. We did have some talks. We had a
what were the highlights? What were the main feature items on the ECM timetable?
So we had some show and tell things. There was ED Survey. ED Survey came on and did a little bit of talky
Oh wait,
stuff.
do you mean SRV Survey? I think I caught
SRV Survey, yep. SRV Survey, sorry, that was one of the first things. SRV Survey, and then a couple of students from Nottingham University have been making the original Elite VR.
Did any of you have a go at that?
I didn't have a go at it. I don't trust.
What a shame. I'm fascinated to know what that was like.
And VR was really popular this year, incredibly popular this year. So that's something that was really good. What else did we have doing? We had some like board gamey stuff going on. We had the Lego build didn't get finished.
No.
Because it was so big, but the Lego build ended up the person who won the Lego build in the raffle was flying back anyway, so it was easier for them to have it flat packed in like the little bags and stuff, so they could build it themselves. And that's quite a lot of the fun of Lego. Anyway, what else did we do? We did the Lave show. We did the quiz.
I caught the Lave show. Good job, guys. That was fun.
The Lave show was really fun.
I was heckling in chat, but I don't think you were watching chat. I was heckling furiously in chat.
I was heckling myself internally, so it was fine, Alec. I was making.
Yeah, I did not catch you and Psycho commenting about my hairline. Thank you very much.
The camera was pointed right at your right ear. It was hilarious.
I'm really sorry.
We could read your phone, Colin. Literally, I could read your phone.
I'm really sorry about
the answers during the quiz.
No, he was.
No,
watching.
Definitely not.
You couldn't. It wasn't like that. The quiz was like really interactive, so people could interact on people could interact on the stream as well. So that was really fun. Some of the questions were real fucking hard, but the quiz was really fun. The Lave show, I really enjoyed doing the Lave show. I've already started planning the next one. I've started like planning the next one, and also maybe planning the one that we do for Game Blast online as well. because I'm that bitch. What else? There was Dockers, there was Hutton Live, and there was Dockers, and there was Tokuso went on and sang a bit, and that was really good. Tom, remember Tom? We're having Tom on next week on the show to talk about his new album that's coming out. That was seamless, wasn't it? Yeah, the band stuff was really fun. Really fun. It was cool to have, like, last year it was Tom, me, and Katie Chaos, and this year it was Tom, me, Katie Chaos, Slopey, and a man in his techno shed, I want to say. And oh my gosh, it was really fun. It was a really, really fun part of the evening.
Yeah, it looked really good. I caught some of that on stream the day after.
LCU was also there.
I've said this before because LCU's done this quite a few times now, but I find there's something. I mean, I'm not. It's easy to joke about LCU singing, but there's something about LCU singing "Creep" with the backing of Tom. And funny though it is, it's also beautiful. I find it really quite moving because it strikes me as such a metaphor for this wonderful group of disparate weirdo nerds that we all are. That it's just beautiful. I love LCU singing "Creep." I think it's amazing.
I also think that LCU, it has a deceptively good voice, and I think if he wasn't putting on the LCU accent, I think he'd be brilliant. But yeah, it was a really, 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 really good day. And then I was so tired come the end. I was so we had Galnet News did their thing as well, and every fucking time that Pete speaks at one of these things, I get a lump in my throat, and it's bad stuff. And it's so silly, and I had nowhere near enough to drink to be upset about all of it, but it was just so lovely. But I was so tired at the end, and I was like, I'm just going to go straight to bed. I'm going to go straight to bed, and I'm going to not do anything like that, any other games or have more fun or anything like that. I'm going to be sensible and go to bed. And then we ended up sat around one of these big tables, and there were a lot of us sat around one of these big tables, and my hand just, of its own accord, reached for the werewolf cards. I was like, I can't. And I was so glad that we did something else, because there were like people just kept dropping in and playing werewolf, and it was some of the best werewolf games. And oh man, I love being able to facilitate games like that with folks. So it was one of my highlights was after everything had finished, just all of us sitting around and playing werewolf together. And then there was a moment, it was really funny because Chris Mott 5 didn't want to play werewolf, and he was just sort of like sat drinking his drink. And then like about half an hour later, I looked at my phone and I had a message from Chris going, "Oh, I've gone to bed, by the way." I was like, oh no. He was like, "Oh, I've gone to bed. I didn't want to interrupt because you were in full werewolf flow." It was such a really cool highlight of the night, but everything was cool. Colin, how did your games go?
Well, I was able to run 3 sessions. I bumped into good old Zach Antonacci, the Don himself, previously communication director for Frontier, and it was good to catch up with him. But the 3 games went down very well. We had Dobbo, Commander Zach, Puggle, Mr. Adams, Michael Bravo, and Schnills all play one lot, and the entire IDA team turned up and played a session later. Now, one of the things that was important about this one is that the person who scored the most points, which in this particular scenario was shoot down the adder that's been flown by Commander Alec Turner.
What?
Yes. Oh, did I not mention that I'd actually created little pilot cards for everybody in the crew? And just randomly, I'd put you as flying the adder. That was
amazing. Did I win?
No, you didn't. You out of all 3 games, the pirates won and shot down the adder. Even though that there were the defending ships, which were a Python and a Courier, as technically are better ships than the attackers, they still lost. But I have to say that Commander Zach Fox, who was his first time playing, he's the winner, and for his prize, if I can get in contact with him again, I have one of the miniatures, the chieftain miniatures called the Last Sentinel. That's to be sent to him. There was another one there that's reserved for Arthur, which is a combined effort from ourselves and Hutton Truckers and Galnet News Digest, because Beetlejude painted it, Little Grey printed it, and I put all the rest of the stuff together for it. So that's to head over to Arthur as well. Yes, unfortunately, I think both. There's something about the place that Scotsmen don't seem to handle too well. Because I don't think I drank enough proper liquid, so I was feeling a little dizzy and unable to run games after a while. So I do apologize, because I know there was a couple of games left to run, but I'm afraid I was not in the best place. But yes, it's apart from that, thanks for the werewolf psychic, because that was a real pick me up.
Yay!
And yeah, a good time was had for all, and special mention has to go to Commander Pete Witherspoon for apparently the most entertaining Beat Saber dancing that we've seen in quite a while.
You say that, but I've got 3 minutes on my phone of Beetlejuice doing almost exactly the same thing, and it is amazing, and that is for my eyes only. There was some good Beat Saber stuff going on.
It's one of those things where you just have to see that live, because there's no way that a captured video will do it justice.
One of the things with Beat Saber is, I remember when I love it. I've wanted to play Beat Saber almost every ECM and sort of LaveCon I've been to, and it never quite picks off. So I'm gutted that they actually had a special thing for it this year. But one of the funny things with Beat Saber, I don't know if people remember this, but when it very first came out, launched as a game, they had this fantastic sort of launch video of this woman playing it, and she was very kind of athletic and very flamboyant in her movements, and it was sort of green screened over the game, and it just looked. And I think when you're playing it, you feel like that, because it feels great. Once you get into the groove, it feels brilliant to play, and in your mind you look like that. And I did actually end up videoing myself, because I was like, I wonder what that looks like. It feels incredible. And then you watch it back and you're like, no, delete. That does not look good at all.
Yeah, that is the problem with all VR stuff.
Yeah.
My wife has said to me when she came downstairs and has caught me in playing Elite Dangerous with the VR headset on, she goes, you know what, I'd probably be less embarrassed if I'd come down and you were watching hardcore porn. So it's
that gives you free reign. At this point, it gives you free reign to start watching porn. Chris Muffle, how was your ECM, my love?
It was very good. A little bit different because, like yourself, I spent a lot of time up at the stage, but great getting to meet people and see different commanders and lots of people that I don't get to hang out with very often. My version of Colin's headache was on the Friday, where I drove down from Edinburgh and did not drink enough water. Then promptly followed it up not drinking enough water by drinking 2 beers, and then feeling very tired after dinner, and then having to set up a web stream, which was not my finest piece of planning. However, really enjoyed the Saturday. It's stressful getting everything set up and in the right position, but then once it's there, it's really worthwhile. Lots of great stuff that was arranged for the stage this year, like the quiz and some of the different demos, bits and pieces. They had 2 Artemis rooms this year. Normally we've only got 1 Artemis room. We had 2. I think it's been upgraded at Cosmos now. In the 2 Artemis rooms, Dave put a lot of work into getting like new PCs and everything set up for Artemis. It was really nice this year. The venue, because everything was off of a main bar for a change. So the last few ECMs and the previous LaveCon as well was kind of like that, where the bar for the event was like a mile away. So in order to go and get a drink, or if you wanted to hang out with people, you had to basically leave everything else that was going on and go into the distance. Whereas this year, like everything was kind of, despite the fact that we were kind of sprawled out in more space than normal, it all felt a lot closer together, which was really nice. It meant that, you know, folk weren't sort of disappearing off for hours on end. So yeah, that was really nice. Sort of getting to see.
The bar was so good as well. Like the bar staff were great. I didn't go to the bar personally, and I don't know why, because I definitely had drinks. But as soon as anybody went to the bar, they would go to the bar and come back pretty sharpish, and that's what you want.
Yeah. No, it was great. I mean, I didn't go up a lot on the Saturday, but yeah, there was barely any queue, which was excellent. Yeah, no, lots of stuff set up around the room. There were so many different things. LCU had his new game. I didn't get a chance to play that, but he was sort of showing me some of the rules and bits when we were there. You had Beetlejuice doing the sort of the different prints. You had different molds so that people could make their own ships, which I thought was really, really cool, and lots of Beetlejuice art up and about as well. Yeah, no, it was just it was really nice event. I think the great thing is getting to meet everyone and chat to all the different folk. Getting the nighttime game of Werewolf, we pretty much got kicked out by security at the end. It was like, you finish now, and then you lock the room.
David managed to negotiate an extra half hour, and we were pushing it.
We achieved the impossible, which was getting Dave to sit down for 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was great.
But yeah, well done to all the organizers, everyone that sort of contributed things on the day and set up, because it's about a year-long mission getting everything booked and sorted, and then a lot to bring together on the day. So yeah, well done the organizers. And
I must say thank you to everybody who has who put my name in the raffle, hoping that I would win the pants again. You didn't manage to. But what was quite funny was that the person who won it, I won it off him the year before, so he had the pants back.
Next year then, Colin.
Yeah, next year for Colin, it's going to be it now, just back and forth between the two.
God, I hope not. So, yeah. Right. Well, if you have a community event that's taking place soon and would you like us to shout about it across the airways, you can tweet the crew at Lave Radio or email us at info@laveradio.com. So, as there hasn't really been much in the way of in-game events, because the CGs are still running, I think the power play rankings are needed. In 12th, we have the Spider Lady Torval. She has gained 8 systems, going up to 630. In 11th, we have Denta Petraeus. He has gained 0 systems this week, staying at 692. The Pirate King Delaney is still in 10th. He gained 1 system this week, up to 708. Winters, after her mad dash last week, gains another 6 systems and is up to 714. In 8th, we have Kane, just gaining 3 systems this week, up to 916th. And in 7, Archer gains another 9 systems, bringing his total up to 942. Antal has Q systems, obviously a typo, but he's up to 959. It's actually supposed to be 7 systems, but we'll just leave that. We have Lee Yongru. He gains 2 systems up to 1,185. In fourth, we've got Grom gaining 6 systems up to 1,207. And then in third, we have the Emperor Rissa, who has lost 22 systems. Her total has fallen down to 1,594. But still in second place is Mahan, gaining 5 systems, bringing his total up to 1,679. And still retaining her first place is Princess Aisling Duval, having gained no extra systems, so her total still remains at 1,936. So, that is your Power Play rankings for this week.
Do we know why Arissa got kicked?
I have yet to get. I was too busy doing ECM stuff, so I haven't actually had a chance to catch up with the Discord. But yeah, it did look like she got kicked, mostly because they didn't bother reinforcing, and when they didn't reinforce, especially the newly acquired systems, when they drop down to 25%, as they do, it's actually quite easy to knock them out.
Right, okay. So
right.
that kind of is starting to make sense with Aisling, for example, where she's not gaining any systems this time because she's got so many systems. It's more difficult for her to keep
Yes.
them, right? Yeah, okay, that's cool.
They're busy
That's a
keeping
cool
them above 25%. So
yeah, that's
suddenly
an
doing Arissa
interesting
and losing them.
dynamic. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Winner for this week is, surprisingly enough, is Torval, having gained the most systems, and of course the loser is obviously the Emperor for losing that many. So yes, a good kicking was made to the Emperor's bottom.
And of course, the Suntil relics have clearly dried up.
Yes, because I mean that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
When you have Aisling Duval gaining 275 systems, thanks to those relics, it's yeah.
What do you mean? Is that not supposed to be normal? I'm obviously joking.
Just because you want to increase bathwater sales, jeez.
Hey. Well, like when we that's funny. When we finished ECM, my voice is about I'm about 70% now. But my voice was really bad on Sunday morning, and Chris said to me, "Oh, you should go home and re-record the Duval ad because it sounds a bit more husky now." I didn't. I went to bed for 3 hours. It was great.
Yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, I think that brings us to that time of the week again.
Store alert! In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art. In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art.
Welcome back. Well, there are 3 things to discuss here with the store alert. Firstly, if you are watching this stream, the chances are you'll be picking up the new Twitch drops, which are available. Also, all fleet carrier skins seem to be discounted at the moment, which I'm really annoyed about because I only bought mine last couple of weeks back, so I should have. Yep. But of course, the one interesting thing is that the Panther Clipper has now got its own flappy little wings as part of a new ship kit. And Ben, you've actually bought these.
I did. I'm sorry. Sort of.
Don't be sorry. Are you enjoying having flappy little wings?
Oh, I do think the flappy little wings help this ship not fly like a brick. Those stubby little
Look
addendums.
ridiculous.
They're
They-
terrible. God.
I think they look.
They just
Do you-
add everything.
I know wings in this game don't really do anything, and then, some ships have sort of more pretense at having wings than others. But if ever there was an example of why wings are fucking ludicrous, it's the idea of these little aerofoils supporting that great hulk, especially, and I don't know why this bugs me so much, but especially because they're attached by a little hinge along the top. So can you
And they're on the
imagine?
engine.
Can you imagine, like, if those wings were actually aerofoils supporting that frame? The pressure on those hinges, which actually, it just does my head in. I can't look at it.
Well,
I
you,
can't.
you know what happens to hinges like that, because we've seen the hinges in on Starship, on all the ones they've tried to land just melt.
They just
So
Just don't think of them as wings, Alec. Think of them
Hmm.
more as bumpers to warn you that you might just not fit somewhere.
It's like
Yeah, as if,
kids.
I mean, that's the other thing
Kids.
about this. That's about the other thing about this ship kit, isn't it? It's like the designers sat down and went, the one thing about the Panther Clipper is it's not wide enough. Let's make it wider.
It's if anything, they should be right at the front with little flags on top, so that you can sort of tell how wide your back end is as you're flying somewhere. That's what you need, is like a little width gauge.
It would be it's like having a massive moustache. Give your Panther Clipper a wonderful moustache.
Yeah, like big whiskers. It works like a cat's whiskers.
I know, the wings are funny, but one thing I did really like about this is with the paint jobs you get with your flappy little wings, it also colorizes the cargo area.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Yeah,
does.
two of them do, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
So I've now got a red cargo area rather than a great big black blob in the middle of my lovely designs. But I've got a bug with it in that it totally cocks up decals and ship names.
Oh.
Well, it still does that.
I don't know what the hell's going. Like in the previous skin, I could see my names and all that kind of stuff. But when I went off and applied this one on Sunday, I think.
Have you looked since the update? Because one of the patch
Funnily
notes
enough,
said that.
no, I haven't.
Well, there we go. That one of the patch notes does say that they have fixed that with some of the some of the skins.
Oh, maybe they have, but I've not had a chance to investigate that yet. Although I'm looking at this. I can see my decals. Although the Panther Clipper Owner Club decal on this with this skin looks very, very faded and washed out. I can actually see. I can see decal. So I don't know if that's the fix or if it was just in the. Oh, in the place where you shove your livery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
bug was, but
Commander Beetlejuice made me laugh. She says those extra long wing mirrors that you get cars that are towing caravans. Yeah, that's what they remind me of.
Absolutely, that's what it is.
Perfect.
That'd be absolutely hilarious, actually, if you could have just like a thin metal bar going out in front of the wing, in front of the cockpit that you could just see behind you.
Yeah. So that's it. Is it hashtag mustaches for Panther for Clippers now? Is it?
Whiskers for Clippers.
Whiskers for Clippers. Yes.
I'm now sporting flappy little wings and a long probe.
Okay. I think with that we will go for an ad break, and when we come back, we'll be discussing Vanguards.
Hey Commanders, this is Mick from Crazy Mick's Reptile Emporium and Warehouse. Due to a hysterical ordering mishap and not reading the fine print, I'm currently in possession of over 10,000 snakes. Many of which are deadly, so everything must go. We have anacondas, asps, cobras, diamondbacks, fodlans, keelback, kraits, mambas, pythons, sidewinders and vipers, none of which are capable of spaceflight without being strapped to a rocket. Need a pet for your cockpit? Buy a snake. Need to scare your mother-in-law and give her a heart attack for the insurance money? Buy a snake. Need to fill a beluga full of snakes to assassinate a witness on their way to a Federation courthouse? Buy many snakes. Bulk discounts are available at Crazy Mick's Reptile Emporium and Warehouse. You can find us in the Lave Business Directory or visit us at the former site of Sensible Michael's Shipyard and Outfitting Warehouse. Will somebody get these mother snakes out of my mother warehouse?
Welcome to the bubble. 55,000 stars with 19,000 inhabited systems, settlements, outposts, stations and bases. Where do you want to go? What do you want to see? Well, we can take you there. If you're too poor to own a spaceship, Apex Interstellar. What are you waiting for? No, is this thing finished? Get out of my way.
Sweet dreams, little ones. You rest up in your hangar bay, because in the morning, you'll wake up to smell fresh laser fire, because you're in a Federal Corvette. And there's one thing that a core dynamic ship does well, and that's kill ships. Big ships, small ships, rings of ships. We even have a go at booping asteroids. Enemy shields down! Enemy dead! There's no further targets, Commander! That's all you'll ever have to say in a Federal Corvette. Core dynamics! Let's not talk about skimmers.
Space is vast, and pirates have needs just like anyone else. Introducing the Lonely Pirate Handbook, the ultimate resource for lonely pirates. Our guide covers the hot spots and not spots of interstellar space, from smugglers' dens to space station taverns, with helpful chapters such as how to be presentable in polite society, how to get rid of that nefarious rank, and my favorite, occasionally shower. Are your early advances often mistaken for attempts to rob or plunder?
Oh, I've come a long way for what's in your hold. Prepare to be boarded.
Frameshift charge detected.
Oh.
Buy today and receive the Lonely Pirates Chat-Up Guide for free.
I've got a very large hard point. Would you like to see my very large hard point?
You're so hot. You're making my temperature critical.
Lower your shields. I want to inspect the goods.
Come back to my place. I might let you touch my A-rated anaconda.
Are you smuggling illegal goods? Because you've got fine written all over you.
The Lonely Pirates Handbook. Now available in all Anarchy bookstores. We'll teach you to loot anyone's heart.
There's bargains, bargains, bargains at Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium haven't just been slicing carcasses, but also slicing their prices. All unspecified meat sausages now 2 for the price of 1. A pack of assorted meat steaks, now with 50% more meat at half the price. How about chops? Our surprising meat chops now also 50% off. And introducing our massive meat hamper. It's a family of 4. No, that should say feeds a family of 4, right?
Stick to the script, Claire. It says it's a family of 4.
Okay, I'll stick to the script.
Yeah, you do that.
It's a family of 4. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. Find us in the Lave Business Directory or visit us next to the station mortuary. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. You'll wonder how our prices are so low.
Welcome back. Well, obviously today was a big update day. This is the day that we get Vanguards, which is the Squadron's rework. Now, obviously, because it happened today, I haven't had even a chance to look at it. But however, one of us was lucky enough to do, how many hours was it, Psychic?
Okay, right. So, like 4 hours of waiting, and then like 3 hours of diving as deep as I possibly could. I don't have the length of some people, but diving as deep as I possibly could into getting, I've made myself laugh, into finding as much as I could in as quick a time as possible about the Vanguards update and the squadrons. I'm gonna be generous and call it a reskin.
I was going to say that because as far as this is concerned, the impression that I've got is that the UI has been completely reworked, and it is a lot easier to use than it did before. But the majority of the functionality we've had before.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'd love to say just like a couple of things that are fucking brilliant with it. There's a couple of things that are absolutely brilliant. Some of the squadron perks are not all squadron perks are equal to others. There is a squadron perk which I think is absolutely spectacular called Notoriety Decay.
Yeah, everyone's choosing that. Sure.
Yeah, because it's so much more OP than everything else that they have. And this Notoriety Decay gives you a bonus of -2 Notoriety Decay every 2 hours, a Bounty Decay every 2 hours of 100,000 credits, and a Fine Decay every 2 hours of 100,000 credits, which I was speaking to Gino about it, and Gino does a lot of piracy and a lot of some of the more nefarious activities in Elite, and he was saying that it feels like with this one perk, Frontier have said actually it's an experience that you can have, and you can, not even just the people who accidentally get notoriety and suddenly find themselves at 10 because they've been trying to follow something that their power play person has told them to do, but there's like this really cool in-game mechanic to shorten that now, and that's a really nice thing because it leaves you open to be able to do more stuff. I really liked the squadron perks. I thought they were nice. I really liked the creating your own decal. I wish there was more to it, because you can basically just pick 3 layers, pick what color those layers are from set colors, and you can't resize or move anything around.
Oh, boo.
So it is quite limited in what you can do, but we've done something, we've made something that I'm actually really quite happy with, and it's lovely being able to show that on your ships as well and have it all plastered around your squadron carrier. The squadron carrier is dope. It's really cool looking. Your squadron carrier, for anyone who doesn't know already, the squadron carrier will set your squadron back 25 billion credits.
Wow.
So, but it also has 60,000 capacity, where a normal fleet carrier would have 25. So when you do the math, it kind of works out that it would be that sort of figure. We're seeing reports of a weekly upkeep when you have everything of about 5 times what a fleet carrier would be as well. So that would be something along it's sort of indicative of the same figure, but 25 billion credits to buy one, and then anyone in your squadron can give money to the squadron and those sort of things, and then you can set limits for how much people can withdraw and those kind of stuff. So
Because
it
that's
is
like
really
one of the things with the cost is it is shared, so if you're in a squadron and people bung
Yeah.
$1 billion in, and you've got 25 members, or I've seen people bunging a couple of billion in because they happen to it works out, and it's meant to be the squadron that buys it and not an individual.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's really, really good. One of our very rich squadron members. We now have 16 at the moment. At least we have 69 billion in our fleet carrier, which is really nice. It's going to keep us going for a little while. It's really nice. Well, I mean, it's going to keep us going for quite some time. But I put in like 22 billion, and I might have to take a little bit out of that because it's left me a bit short for carrier upkeep on my end, I'm not gonna lie. There was one other thing that I was like, oh, I need to say that this is really good as well, and I can't remember what it is, so it's probably not that important.
Oh, right, fair enough then. Yeah, I must admit, from what I've seen, the couple of things that I do like is basically the bulletin board. That's had a nice upgrade. And also so has the actual squadron talk. You know, the bit in the comms panel up in your top left-hand corner. I think those two things they've been needed for an upgrade to that has been needed for quite a while. Yes, so that's the good.
How has the squadron chat changed? Because it's always been there, hasn't it? Like
it's been there, but it's more noticeable.
Okay.
It's now that particular bit is green, not.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of highlight.
Actually,
It was always
yellow
green.
before.
No, it's always green. Squadron chat's always been green.
Actually, I can't talk about colours anymore because I use ED HUD mod, so God knows whether I'm seeing normal colours or not. I don't know.
No, squadron chat's always been green.
Okay.
Well, it's got a different icon at least.
I haven't noticed. I hadn't noticed. I don't think we did barely any stuff in that.
Because I'm sure people know this, but maybe there's a few people listening that don't. But there are the various chat channels like local chat, system chat, you know, DMs with individual people, squadron chat, and you have the option of breaking those out into separate tabs or not.
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone knows that, but so I have a couple that are in separate chats and
Yeah.
Yeah,
because normally the global system chat that goes across all play. Place.
Yeah, I can get a bit rowdy in a CG, so I have that separate, and I can just not look at that.
Yeah, just not look at that at all. But even though it is quite amusing sometimes when you get people saying, "Come into open, we won't kill you." Yeah, right. But yes, and I must admit, it was. I think the squad. I mean, have you used the squadron chat a lot then, Psychic?
We will use it, and we'll say hello and stuff in squadron chat when there's more than one of us on, and that kind of things. It's not something that we would use. It's not something that we would use quite regularly, but we do occasionally. I'll see a message pop up, or I'll say hello, because it's like this. Originally, I don't know if it's changed now, because I didn't see squadron chat once today, but there was squadron chat, and then there was like a squadron leader chat. So I wonder if that's something that you can sort of designate with each role and those kind of things, because there's more roles now. I haven't really looked at that because I wanted to look at some of like the more big picture stuff, but there's more roles that you can give to people, and you can set limitations on each thing that everyone can do and those kind of stuff. So it is interesting. It is interesting. I want to get back in and play with it a little bit more.
So what about the actual? I take it you have a squadron carrier right now.
Yeah.
What's it like to walk around?
Okay, right. So there are some new areas. Again, I think I will sandwich good. I will start with good and then end up with not so good. So there is a new area. There's the seats at the very front. When when you go to a front of a fleet carrier and you go and sit in the concourse, and there's lots of seats at the front. They've been cut in maybe about half the amount of seats that are there. So it feels like there are less seats. However, from where you get into the lift and go to the where your ship is, there is another. You can choose to go to the jumping cabin, I want to say, and that is a separate room which is just like full of chairs, so like you can go and sit in those chairs. That will be one place where the game will send you if you're jumping. Now, we're in a fleet carrier where you would have the captain's cabin. There is also a room sort of like next door to that commander's cabin. It's sort of like the room sort of opens up, and it's like it's like a cinema seating. Cinema seating, exactly, and it's like a briefing room. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. And that's there's some. I saw like opportunities for some like screenshots and things like that. Things that you don't have at the moment. When you walk out into the main area of the squadron carrier, which is sort of like this big space that's right in the middle, there are 3 boarded up doors that say service unavailable. And if you do the thing where you walk up to one of these corrugated doors that they bring down and flip into free cam and then look around, one is the bar, one is Vista Genomics, and one is the other one that you would normally get in fleet carriers. But you can't buy them at all at the moment. So they are in the fleet carrier, but they've just not been added to something that is purchasable at the moment, which is kind of weird. But because it says service unavailable, I'm assuming that we'll be able to go and get them at some point. But never
Might
assume
just be
entirely.
an oversight that they're not wired out to the right bit of the UI to turn on, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm thinking it must be something like that. The other thing that is really weird is that there were like 2 balances. So there is a squadron balance, and you're gonna have to bear with me on this. There is a squadron balance, and then there is a there's a squadron balance and then a squadron carrier balance, but you have to withdraw sort of into your own funds to deposit into the squadron carrier balance. So it's a bit like transferring tritium, but with money.
Oh, right. So there's no direct squadron to carrier.
If there is, I couldn't figure it out. And I know it is permit locked where you can buy squadron upgrades, but I was in that system to begin with, and I still couldn't buy them. But I could buy other things for or there's only certain systems where you're like the fleet carrier systems where you can buy those upgrades for your fleet carrier. But I was able to buy other ones in the system where I was like rearm repair and those kind of things, but I couldn't do it with. There wasn't a space for me to buy anything else, which was a little bit disappointing. That at the moment, especially because I know that they're there. Also, when you make your squadron decal, you better really like it, because in that squadron room, in those squadron rooms, you're going to see it a lot.
I feel that it's everywhere, isn't it? It's on the floor, it's on the walls, it's on the wall of
on
your
a window
ready room.
at one point. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I mean, you have to be a fan of it. You have to be a fan of it to make it, but it is pretty much everywhere. I really like what we managed to do with ours, with the limited set of stuff that Frontier gives us. I remember we talked about it looking a bit like the F1 thing. It's nowhere near as fluid as the F1 thing, but it's all right. It works, and I mean it's great. I don't know how I feel about it only being your squadron that's allowed on the carrier. I'd like it to be sort of like everyone you want allowed on the, because we talked about this before, like being able to join other squadrons and other places like that. And you can only be in one squadron. So I would really like to be able to invite people who aren't in the squadron onto your carrier, but maybe only have the squadron in like that ready room upstairs and things like that.
Yeah, a bit like the
Yes, I can see
personal
what you're
carrier,
getting at.
but yeah.
So, so
Anyone can
that's
come on the
a
personal
pain.
carrier, but you have to be in the team to go up to the.
Exactly. Just a little bit of a mechanic like that, where you can be anyone can be on the squadron carrier, but you have to be in the squadron to be able to go up. And I don't see how that would necessarily be a difficult thing to implement.
Because that does mean that if you're currently in a squadron that either A, can't afford a squad carrier, or B, as in the case with the Buckyball Racing Club, currently the owner of the squadron has left the game and Muggins here doesn't have the keys to do very much, then you can't get to see a squadron carrier unless you quit and join a different squadron who's got the money and has got one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always a problem with guilds and things like that, because I remember that one of the guilds that I was a part of was with SOTOR. When I took for my first hiatus to it, I came back and I was the only active member, but I couldn't do anything with the guild because everybody had left and I was still a low member. So the only option I had was leave.
Yeah.
I don't know what they can do about that, but I mean, perhaps we need to. Frontier will need to have some kind of ticketing system to say, "Excuse me, I'd like my guild back."
I'm going to try, but we'll see what happens. On that emblem thing and it being plastered everywhere, is there a default, or do you by default not have one? Can you choose not to have one?
The default is the squadron that squadron's logo, which is sort of like the square with the triangle at the bottom, kind of thing. You can also decide on like your banner that's above everything too. So your banner can change to whatever you want. It's just like your normal sort of like Galnet banners that they have that you can choose from, but it's still cool.
Oh yeah, I know. Okay.
You see Ben absolutely massacring the Lave one right now. Or trying to be creative with a Lave one right now, I should say.
I found an orange Sidewinder, or I think it's actually an orange Cobra.
Yes.
But we can make pretend it's fine.
Yeah. I found an orange Cobra, but then you were saying we can't... Yeah, I'd like to put the independent logo on it. But you said we can't resize and move it around.
You can't resize or move anything, no.
So I'm basically shoving everything on top of the other, and it's just like, yeah.
You gotta stack them wisely.
Yeah. So the likely the like I'm going to say a best practice or a practice is your main emblem, there's plenty of backgrounds that you can do in there, and then maybe a little bit of decoration on top of the main emblem. That would effectively be the way that I did it. That's the way that I have done it with the Soteria Accord one, but it's it's limiting. It is limiting, but I do understand why it's limiting. It is cool that you can have it on all of your ships as well.
Yeah. I mean, I like how. I'm guessing they're doing it the three colors so that it matches, basically, so that the decals work. I think I know there are technical reasons behind a lot of the decals.
Only being limited to 3 colors, yeah.
Yeah. They've stuck with that so that this can be a decal.
It makes sense.
It'll be the amount of, because what they'll have done is they'll have created each of the layers as an object, and then with each of the colors as an option, and then they're just stacking one on top of the other depending on what's been ticked, so they can store it as one big like variable thing in order to load it in.
And there was I did see a question in chat as well about once you've made the logo, how do you find it to add it to your ships as well? You can do that by it is in the decals, but it won't look like the image that you've made. It's just the bog standard squadron on when you pick it from the list. It just looks like the bog standard squadron thing, and then it's like a squadron dynamic decal, it says, and then when you add it to your ship, it looks like the one that you've made.
I see. Cool.
So I mean, we've had the good, we've had the meh. Is the Is there something that you think needs improvement then, Psychic?
Well, like immediate improvement.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to be able to add guests to the carrier or to the squadron, just like in general, be able to like interact with more, because I was talking about it. Apparently Elder Scrolls Online you can be in 6, but one is your main and then the rest are like your guests then.
Mm-hmm.
Is that really, really bad? I'd like that. My main really bad is, where is the game? Where is the gameplay in this?
Yes.
Because it's all menus.
It's
all
funny.
menus. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, during your stream, I don't want to drop him in it. It might have been Tom, but I can't remember. But somebody in your stream. So you were flicking through the menus and you were ticking checkboxes on and off to do with permissions and, doing what Ben's doing now, kind of thing. Not even as exciting as what Ben's doing now, just doing checkboxes and things.
Yeah.
And somebody in your chat said, "Is this the fun bit?"
I didn't see that. God.
And what I found funny about that is I half thought it just might be.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like it. There is. I would love more more things to incentivize more, like a more big squadron gameplay as opposed to wing gameplay and stuff like that, like mission running and those kind of things, which is great and everything, but it's one of those things where I'm concerned that the novelty will wear off. I think having the notoriety perk is great. The notoriety perk is great. So that's probably become the standard now.
Do you know what? In the same way that the whole thing of multi-crew, which was a bit of a flop and is basically a way of getting one extra pip, the whole of Squadrons is going to be a way of getting notoriety decay and nothing else.
Yeah, like spending all of your billions that you've made. The novelty of a group of people in the same squadron hanging out on a squadron carrier probably wear off after a few days, and then I'll just go back to playing in the game with my friends that I usually do, and not have it restricted to the people who have chosen to that, like, not just the people who have chosen to join my squadron. Like, I can join in and do res sites and stuff that I can wing up with people that aren't in my squadron. I don't think there is an incentive for a big squadron group to work together. Even still, as long as we've now got somewhere to put our money. We've now got a bit of a money sink. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a money sink, and there's also now the ability to transfer funds between players. Is that right?
Yeah. So you can transfer funds. You can transfer funds directly between players. I haven't even mentioned the ship thing, because like transferring ships, because I think that's dead in the water. But you can transfer funds directly between players that are in your squadron. So I can transfer that. So that's fine.
Did you get to try the stuff of putting ships into the
Some
bank?
people have.
So how does it work? Like, is it literally the ship you're flying? So do you go to outfit?
No, you can. Yeah, you know how you transfer, like, with a ship from a shipyard. Like, if you're transferring from a shipyard to the thing, you can do it like that.
But here's my question, because there was something an idea mentioned on Loose Screws last week that got me intrigued, which was I was thinking, suppose you want to have let's do an example of the Buckybill Racing Club. Suppose we wanted to have a dozen regulation Cobras on the bank for anyone to take out. What I was thinking was, what I started to picture was the idea that you would create a template for your regulation Cobra rather than an actual one, and then you would use the template to stamp out 10 actual Cobras that are in your squad carrier. But it sounds like actually it's not that.
No,
What you actually
it's not
literally
that.
have to do is build one Cobra, put it into storage, build another Cobra, put it into storage.
Well, or you can build
effectively.
all of the Cobras at the same time, and then go to your fleet carrier and transfer them all over, like you're transferring them from the
But you,
shipyard.
wherever you are, like you're in Shindas or wherever, you've got to build. You've got to literally handcraft one ship at a time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a pain. I don't see too much of a point for it, and I feel like it just takes up space, which can be used for you can store on-foot materials in the storage, which is great, and you can put like cash beyond your wildest dreams in there, and that's great, and you can put commodities in there as well. I get the feeling it's going to be used like a bit of a dump chest, so I'm gonna I've got my BDI on Kremen as my dump chest manager, who is going to like sort out the good shit from the chaff, because he started by saying, "Oh, I don't want to do that. You can go fuck yeah," and then he was like, "Yeah, no, I'd quite like to do that." But you can put stuff in there if you're doing like big distant colonization stuff. Absolutely, you as a squadron, you can fill that all up with 60,000 units of whatever it is you need, and go and haul 60,000 units of steel at the other end. So I think
Squad carrier hold enough to create the initial outpost in the colonization system in one run.
Is 60,000 enough? I'm sure.
Is it? Yeah, I can't remember the numbers.
It must be.
Interesting.
I just have to point out. I just have to point out from the chat, Parta Zhu has said that guild gameplay comes from the players. Mm-hmm. So the thing about the Squadrons, the previous version, was that there did seem to be, though there is this competition. You can see that they've got some kind of leaderboard, so squadrons who do certain things will be able to compete against one another. But the thing is that is Frontier going to put in gameplay for squadrons only? I think if they start doing that, then people will start to use it. But unless there is a carrot, I think, then everyone, they'll upgrade their current squadron, and
it would need to be something like a community goal, but squadron. And I don't know how you quite would handle that. It would need to be, you need to dump it on your squadron carrier in order for it to contribute towards some sort of end goal or something along that, in order to separate it out from normal gameplay, because otherwise it's just a community goal with a slightly different, it's trying to build that. I get that it's kind of being a way of hooking people into the game and bringing a community together. The thing is that you've got so many other ways out with the game that you can coordinate all those activities, that you can be a member of multiple clubs. You can look at as many events as you like on the forums. You can join as many Discord channels as you like outside of the game. But I can only be a member of one squadron, so that then locks me out of finding out about other stuff. So all a squadron does is kind of collates a bit of that in game, which is fine. But really, in order to experience the full of what the community's doing, I would need to look elsewhere.
It is super limiting in that way. The other thing I remembered, the other thing that was good was the I haven't looked at this properly yet, the leaderboards, because apparently there's one leaderboard that covers the whole of the squadron, and then the other one that takes the best performing sample of each squadron.
There are different activities you can highlight, isn't there?
Yeah, but it's like there's like a top. I can't remember what they said.
So a squadron with 100 members isn't going to dominate a squadron with 20, because it's only taking the top 10 of each.
Yeah, something like that. So that's what it is. There's that side of the leaderboard thing, which I really liked because it's nice and it like brings up that equality rather than incentivizing someone joining a massive squadron as it is already and becoming a number for those people rather than a human.
How about I don't know about I don't see them doing this, but what I think would be one of those things to incentivize people to actually to join a squadron was if that when you move one of these squadron carriers into I mean, you can actually have your squadron carrier aligned with a faction or even a power, a power play power. If you move one of those, the squadron carrier, into a place where that faction is in a conflict zone, I would love it if all of a sudden that entire carrier became sort of like a PvP map. Not necessarily people will win things. It's just a kind of capture the flag map or something like that, so that it could be feel that it'd be involved in the conflict. Obviously, it wouldn't be destroyed because you can't destroy carriers like that. But I just feel it just needs that little bit more interactivity with the background simulations.
Yeah, it needs to have something with it. I mean, the interesting thing, I mean, like, when Psychic was showing it earlier today, you've got a cool little sort of briefing room up on the bridge, which is sort of similar to, I think someone said it in chat as well, is sort of the Galactica briefing room, where the pilots, the fighter pilots sort of meeting. And then there's this completely random other room, which is also set up like a briefing room. Like there's a larger briefing room. And I'm like, well, what's that one there for? It's like,
it's weird.
It's like you've got like they went, people are going to ask what's in the rest of this space, and they've built like an empty auditorium, and I'm like, what's the empty auditorium for? And maybe that's something that's coming later. Maybe this is all just setting groundwork for something else, or maybe it was just they were like, oh, people are going to complain it's too small and like a normal fleet carrier. What will we put in this space? I don't know. More tiered seating. We've got seating, right? And they've just put more seating in.
Is there a screen? I'm not suggesting there's anything on it, but
there's a screen that says the name of the carrier on it.
Okay,
and
so
I
you all
don't
sit and
think it
watch
does.
that.
We could all sit and watch a screen that has the name of the carrier on it while we jump, and I don't get what it's there for, because we don't have. So in T'other Space Game, they've got like the proximity voice chat kind of thing, right? So if you're standing in proximity to someone, you can speak. In Elite Dangerous, we don't have that. You've got to call a person essentially in order to speak to them. So you've got this briefing room where someone can stand at the front and type at you.
Yes.
I don't understand it. It confuses me slightly. But I like, it'll be cool for, like, I imagine folk will shoot some like cool little videos and bits and pieces using it. That'll be really neat. But I just don't understand what it's there for. They've not opened the bar or any of the commodity spaces, but they've opened the big briefing room of.
It's a jump. It's a jump space. It's a jump space for extra seats for if every single one of those there's 32 ships that can be sat on that carrier. If those are, let's say for example, playing devil's advocate, there are 16 of those are Panther Clippers that all have 4 players on. So you need lots of seats to be able to sit down everybody using your squadron.
Okay. I look forward to. I don't know. It seems like something the Burr Pit. Well, the Burr Pit are going to immediately test, right? At some point, is cramming a bunch of people onto
From
one
this
of those
squadron,
carriers.
yeah, probably.
The problem is that it's locked to a squadron. So unlike normal, where it's like a fleet carrier jump or something, and everyone can hop in and give it a go. it's going to be a little bit more of a struggle, I think, to test it to its max. Because are you assuming what, a ship with a pilot and 2 guests per pad?
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, it's the possibility. There's a possibility of it. There's a potential for it in massive squadrons, because there are squadrons with 500 people in. Whether or not they're all playing is also a question. But
that is one good thing though. That 500 limit has gone up a lot, hasn't it?
Has it? I don't know.
Because wasn't it limited to 500 before, and everybody thought that's why it was dead in the water, because you could only have 500 people. Because I remember
There's not that many factions with 500 people in them. There's a few, but I don't think even since the original Squadrons was introduced, I don't think there's that many with more than 500.
Oh, I just remember when it first came out. That was the major complaint. Oh, it's dead in the water because, you know, there you can't have as many people as we want in one big squadron.
1, 2, 3.
So yeah, that's what that was the one big complaint I remember from the first time round from Squadrons version 1.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. That, and of course, we want guest roles, and they went, we can't do guest roles.
I'd love them to do guest roles. There's like 20, according to Inara, there's like 23, I think. I counted. I'm not going to count it again. There's like 23 squadrons that have more than 500 in. Whether more than 500 of those players still play, I don't know. But I was looking at Inara. There's maybe 20, 23, 24, something like that. So I mean, don't know how many out of thousands, probably.
In that case, my feature edition would be a dormancy toggle, where if people don't log in for 6 months, they vanish off.
They get kicked out.
They get booted out, and that would manage the 500 player cap if you know, because otherwise you need to manually go on and remove. Because I'm guessing the squadron managers can sort of go in and boot a person, but they would need to know that they weren't playing.
Yeah, and I think you can see when they were last active in the squadron.
Chris, you can see what's happening there. It says last. I thought it lies because it said Colin was last on 18 months ago. Whereas last.
Doesn't it? Because
who have we been talking to all this time?
I'll go back into my spaceship and its flappy little wings. It was saying
Colin logged in before the show to do the power play ranking.
Yeah.
I'm sure it said months, not minutes, but I'll double check.
But yeah, I mean, like a dormancy toggle or something like that, or at least a stamp, would be able to help people manage it if the cap is like really making people struggle. But I don't know what actively a squadron with 500 would be like to manage. To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah, obviously it would. Didn't they say that certain people can take part in certain roles within the squadron, and those people manage certain those, you know, like you set up a mining master, and anybody who does the mining comes under the mining master or something like that. Anyway,
I mean, you could do.
Yeah, we'd have to do some serious organizational thinking, and Lave doing organizational thinking.
Oh God, no. Yeah, no, Colin, don't worry. It's now saying last active in the last hour.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I was looking through there, going, I can't do anything because I'm not second tech. I'm only a director. Which...
Yeah, well, I've upped you to see. I've upped you now, and it was. It was Rodent. It was basically who did a lot of the stuff during the Lave Wars. Was actually the CEO.
Hmm.
And
yeah, why have I got weird hair in the squadron?
I think Andy Warhol's got something to say about this.
Why?
Yeah.
Why end it with in the squadron? You're just fine. You were fine before you had to finish.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry, Colin. That was mean.
It looks, yeah, yeah. In the squadron, at least I've got hair, according to Cow. But, yeah. Anyway, I think we will. Has anybody got any final things to say? Because in conclusion, from what I've seen, is it's an improvement over what was there, but I've yet to see something that will make me go, "Yep, that's what I want." And I mean,
I think had this come out before Power Play 2.0 and colonization, we would have been so happy with what they've done.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
well, much happier. We would have
Yeah,
been
I know
happy
what
with
you're
what they've done. But I think because we've had expectations low, expectations smashed with colonization, and then expectations are met and exceeded with colonization. Still, they still need work. I totally appreciate that you know what I'm trying to say. But it's this one is kind of okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Wintermute said that this is more a QOL update.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Honestly, the Shadows update is really, really good, and this new UI that they've given for the squadrons is a nice add-on. But I'm so glad that they've done all the Shadows updates. That's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah.
Shadows update. It's funny. Like my closing thought was like that. To be honest, I never quite got. I couldn't quite see what was possibly going to be interesting about Vanguards. Like with with colonization when they first dropped that it was going to be colonization, and even before they told us very much, you could see a world of possibilities of getting carried away with speculation of what that might mean, and I could see all sorts of exciting possibilities. But from the outset with Vanguards, I was like, I'm not quite sure why that's going to be fun. I can't think of anything right now, but maybe they've got something up their sleeve. And as yet, I haven't seen anything up their sleeve. It's like my expectations were minimal and I'm sorry, it just doesn't seem interesting to me.
Yeah, it certainly met my expectations as well, and my expectations were low.
So, yeah, overall, right. We'll see what if they build in it over the next couple of months. It would be nice if there is something. You see, this is one thing that they listed all the functionality they knew that we knew about, and then they said ... and much more. And I'm waiting to see what they mean by that.
Is that they're going to unlock the bars next week?
Now we're talking.
Yeah, just make sure you have plenty of water and the room's not hot.
That's a very, very good advice.
Yes.
Speaking from experience there, Colin.
Oh, very much so. Right. Our shout-outs. So our sister station, Hot and Orbital Radio, who will probably be taking a break this week. Although, admittedly, I've already seen messages of them ordering their squadron carrier about. You can tune into them at twitch.tv Hut and Orbital Truckers, or if you want the audio, it's over at radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander that likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. We'll give shout outs to the other Elite Dangerous podcasts. So we've got the Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well. There's the wonderful Loose Screws, which I'm looking forward to hearing what their opinion about Vanguards are. And we have the new unofficial Elite podcast as well.
The Untitled Elite podcast. I got the words wrong. My apologies. It's the Untitled Elite podcast.
The Untitled, the Anonymous Elite podcast. The elite podcast that doesn't want to be known.
Quite.
Yes. They normally do a podcast after an FU, so there'll probably be one in a couple of weeks. And of course, if you speak French,
I just let the funky music do the talking.
yeah. There's the Elite Dangerous podcast, who also do wonderful missions as well. So following this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest, as provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejuice. We'd just like to thank everybody who's chipped into the Twitch chat and the in-game commanders that we've had today, Chris.
We have had Rocky Star, Frill Seized, Sign Galt, Frozen Satsuma, Katiana, and JT.
Excellent. Special thanks go to Commander Tokuso, Jay Trax, and Alan Stroud, who have created music that we use in this show. And thanks also to the following commanders for the images that we've used for ECM. So that'd be Commander Witherspoon, Psychit, Tantalus, Little Grey, The Announcer, and, oh, good grief.
Fantaxia.
There we go. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I just there's too many X's in there for me to pronounce properly. So that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find all the contact links in the home/contact us menu of the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So thanks to the Chris Mark IV.
You're welcome.
Thanks to Alec.
Thanks, Colin. Night all.
Thanks to Ben.
You're welcome.
Thanks to Psychit.
Thanks, pals.
And special thanks goes to today's tech specialist. That would be Chris Mark V.
You're welcome.
Excellent. So until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? Sounds like someone having an orange inserted. Need a safe word.
Space can be loaded.
I'm gonna see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Update, 19th of August, 3311.
The galaxy is no longer suffering from flickering shadows, judging by early observations. And an updated version of Squadrons has been released, bringing Squadron carriers and the ability to transfer credits directly to other commanders in the same squadron. Flickering shadows has been a persistent problem since Odyssey permits, which gave commanders the authority to get out of their ships and walk around, were first issued, more than 4 years ago. Brought to a head by the mind-altering rapid disco effects experienced in the cockpit of the new Panther Clipper Mark II, it seems that a crack team of Pilots Federation render artists have been assigned to track down and fix the problem. Where once shadows would appear and disappear apparently randomly as you got nearer to a subject, they are seemingly now completely stable, with shadows appearing correctly in the places where there's no light and not in the places where there should be light. It's early days, but if this problem really has been fixed, it will be a massive relief to explorers, cinematographers and other commanders around the galaxy.
In other news, Squadrons has been given a revamp, with the key features being squadron carriers and sharing resources. Squadron carriers cost 25 billion credits to buy, so it's just as well squadron members can pay into a shared bank, which is also used for carrier upkeep. Commanders can also directly transfer credits to other squadron members. No more dropping and scooping platinum, just choose the amount you want to send, and make it so. Other things you can do with squadrons is store up to 60,000 units of unengineered spaceships to share with other squadron members. For reference, a Cobra Mark III takes up 232 of these units. And you can also share commodities with squadron members, but you can only do this when you have a squadron carrier, which, at time of writing, the Hutton Truckers do not. You can choose a company motto and design a dynamic decal that members can wear on their ships. You can even choose a banner to decorate your carrier. Squadrons can choose a perk, which might be cargo insurance, making mapping planets easier, or making colonization easier. You can align your squadron to a superpower, a power, and a minor faction. There's a bulletin board where members can advertise their activities and plans. Squadron members can be given roles, helping to define its structure and their responsibilities. Roles also give different levels of access to the squadron bank and wallet. Current squadrons have automatically been migrated to the new Vanguards system, but you do need to choose the squadron's perk and cosmetics, and if you like, you can apply fleet carrier cosmetics to your squadron carrier.